Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Alan Wall's Photography. I'm Alan. Today, I want to talk to you about a questionable decision that I made. And in case you were ever thinking about doing this may be of value to you. And if you just get pleasure out of other people's being uncomfortable, you'll love this video. Anyway, I decided that I needed to update my portfolio in a couple of areas, and one of those was my people pictures. I'd taken down my people gallery a while ago because I just wasn't super happy with it. There was a lot of old pictures on there, and I wanted something fresh and something relevant to the community that I live in now. And I just decided it was time to get aggressive about fixing that part of my online presence. So, because I just moved here, I don't have a lot of friends and acquaintances down here. In fact, I have maybe two, and they're old codgers like I am, so they might not be the ideal people to update my portfolio with. So I had this idea, and I know it's going to sound crazy, saying I should have done this video before I did my idea, because just saying it out loud, it sounds crazy. I thought it would be a good idea to put an ad in one of those websites where people sell rusty lawnmowers, and it's online. It's an online community where people, look for work or look for help, sell stuff, that type of thing. And your first tip that it might not be the best place to go looking for people is that the ad cost me $3 to post, which seemed a little on the cheap side. And I'm pretty cheap, but $3, bit dodgy sounding. I did it anyway. I posted an ad that said that I was a photographer and I was looking for non-professional, amateur models, or people who thought they might like to give modeling a try. They didn't have to have ever done it before. But that it would be a free gig, that I wouldn't pay them to model, but in exchange, I would give them a full set of high resolution, ready to publish JPEGs that they could use any way they wanted. I would maintain ownership of the pictures, of course, because I needed them for my own promotional stuff. But that was the deal. I would shoot them for whatever reason they had for wanting to be photographed, and they would get to keep the pictures. It sounded very reasonable, and I was very specific in the ad. I spelled everything out. I explained that, exactly how it worked, and no money would change hands. And I posted the ad. Within a day, I had a dozen responses, and at the end of 3 days I had over 40, and they're still coming in. I have had 2 already today, and that ad was placed more than 3 weeks ago. So it definitely got a lot of response, and I want to tell you how it went, how this project of mine went, in case you've ever thought about doing it. There may be some things you could do differently that would make it go better for you. First, the good. I have had some absolutely wonderful shoots with great people who I've thoroughly enjoyed working with, who were not professional models, had no experience being photographed, but were super open and friendly and willing to give it their all. And I think I've got some really nice pictures from these people. And that's been very encouraging. I'm very happy about that. But that's just a small group of people that responded to the ad. some of the others, I don't think were ever serious about doing it. And some of them, I think, saw an opportunity to pull a fast one. And that's probably the biggest lesson from this video, if there's any lesson in it at all, is don't be as naive as that guy on the YouTube videos. Me. I don't know. I don't assume that people are out to get one over on me, and probably I should. Just seems like a miserable way to live. But I assumed that anybody that took the time to respond to the ad was serious and thought the deal would be worth it for them. So the first thing that I realized was that if you're going to do something like this, you need to be prepared for the people that get in touch with you. I committed to myself that anybody that was serious, that I would shoot. I wouldn't. If anybody took the time to get in touch and say yes, they wanted to do this, I would do it for them, even if it meant shooting for months to get it done. And that probably was unrealistic for a number of reasons. But the second thing was, I didn't really think about how I was going to deal with the people who were interested when they contacted me. So basically, I dealt with everyone individually. By email, I wrote a long email explaining to them exactly what we were going to do, and what they might want to consider when it came to hair and makeup and outfits they wanted to wear, and what I'd rather that they didn't wear as far as the kind of clothes I didn't want to be messing with, stripes and pattern dresses and things like that. So each email response was a long, well thought out email, because I wanted to make these people comfortable. I wanted them to know that I was legit. I'd send them over to the website so they could see that, or go look at some YouTube videos, whatever. And that took a lot of time, and I have now done that close to 50 times. And it's a valuable lesson. I'll tell you in a minute what I would do if I ever did this again. The second negative is that all is not how it seems on some of these wanted posting sites. At first, I thought some of the people who responded to me were just a bit odd. Their comments seemed strange. And some unsolicited sent photographs that were a bit off color. That's the best way I can think to put it. And then other people were just clearly not serious about it. They were just time wasting, I guess, or trolling, or whatever it's called. But then there were the people that seemed legit. They really did. They sounded enthusiastic. They said all the right things. They asked all the right questions, and we set up a shoot, and they never showed up. And 3 of them were over an hour from where I live. So I drove 2 hours for a no-show. That's when it occurred to me that a lesson I have to keep relearning over and over again is that people value something that they have on the basis of what it cost them, and this was an entirely free deal for them, and that's exactly how much value they put in it. Because I never got a call, I never got an email saying I won't be there. It's just I guess they had other priorities and didn't show up. So that's a real negative, and I don't know how you get around that one. I was 100% sure that these were all going to follow through and be there. Then the most disturbing is there's been a bunch of responses that were frightening because I didn't pick up on them early enough that there was something untoward going on. One chap got in touch with me because he wanted me to shoot his daughter, and that really set off alarm bells. But I read the guy's email, and it was very well written, and his everything he said sounded very reasonable to me. That this young woman was like 17, and that was a cheerleader and what have you at her school, and she was really interested in doing some modeling stuff for advertising, and had never had a picture taken, but on and on, all the stuff you would expect to hear from somebody who really wanted to get a free set of pictures to put in their own portfolio. And then it occurred to me like 3 days before the shoot that it had already been scheduled. We had the time and the place and everything set up. I got in touch with the father and said, "Hey, one other thing that I do this with everybody that I shoot, by the way, and that was I need to talk to her before the shoot. I want to talk to her about outfits and colors and looks that she's interested in, and that type of thing. Give her a couple of references of some short articles on posing that she could read, all of that." And I never heard from them again after that, which was when it occurred to me that I really had no earthly idea who it was I was talking to in those emails. Which meant I also had absolutely no idea who any of these people were that were responding to these emails. So it was the first time I started to feel that this might not be a particularly safe way to go about finding models. The jury's still out. I suppose it depends on whether I get through the next few weeks without getting kidnapped or worse. But I'm gonna stick by my commitment to everybody that's serious about it. I'll shoot them. But when it started out, I suggested that all of our shoots would be in public places, and that was because I wanted the model to be comfortable. Not knowing me, never having shot with me, I wanted them to be in a public space so that they would be comfortable. But now it is 100% so that I can be comfortable, because there is no way I'm going to end up, out in the boonies with some mystery person that I talked to over the email. So that's really the main thing that I would consider if you're thinking about doing this, is that you really are floating a balloon for all the nut jobs who catch glimpse of your ad. You never know what you're going to get. So I would take steps to just absolutely make sure that you know what you're getting into. I have now created a multiple questionnaire that I send out to anybody who gets in touch with me from this ad, and it asks for specific information, and it asks a lot of questions that would, I think, pretty much clue me in to whether or not this was legit. And if it isn't, if I don't think it is, if I have any bad vibes about the response to the questionnaire, then I just thank them and move on. But anyway, whether or not this is smart or stupid, I'm really not sure. I would be so interested if any of you have ever done this. If you've ever tried to find people to shoot and gone this route, and what was your experience? Did you find it a net positive, or was it a royal pain in the butt, or did you have any really negative experiences that you'd like to warn the other viewers about. I would be super interested to hear what your experience has been. I am going to finish this project, seeing as I started it, and I am going to post the pictures, and I will give you guys an update on what other weirdness happens. But I just thought you might be interested. It seemed like a good idea. Now I'm not so sure. Got some really fun compositing coming up. I'm going to be doing a just for fun beginners compositing workshop thing. Not a workshop, it's just a video. But you can watch it and you can learn how to do some weird compositing. All you need is a camera and access to Photoshop to do it. So that's coming up in a few days. If you live in America and it's not Thursday yet, have a nice Thanksgiving. If you live in America and Thursday's already passed, I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. And if you don't live in America or don't know what Thanksgiving is, have a nice Wednesday, Thursday. I forget. I'll see you in a few days. Have a good day. Bye-bye.